Hi, Kara here at Recherche Calves. I am here to give you the final video for Angel's Miss Purple Quinn. First things first, I'm going to show you her microchip number. They're located. Oh, it's a microchip reader. It's no hot dog. Stop it. Stop it. The hot dogs. The microchip is located right behind her shoulders, right on top of her back. Place. The last four digits are 6976. Good place. When you pick her up, you will find information in the puppy packet where to register this number for her name, her phone number, and her address. Her name, your phone number, and your address. You will register that number via the website or the phone number in the information that you find in her puppy packet. You will be getting a lot of emails from Jamel. Make sure you read over them. Whether this is your first puppy or your 20th, a refresher course is always a good idea. The potty training emails are going to be the most important. Yes, she is potty trained to a certain extent, but being still a puppy, you need to make sure that you continue that potty training. When you get her home, I want you to put her on leash. Then you walk in the home with her following you on leash. Take her for a tour of the home. Take her to her food, her water, her beds, her kennels. Take her to the door that she will go out of to go to the bathroom. Go outside. You go first, she follows. Take her to the area where she will go to the bathroom. Try to get her to go. Let her sniff around. Let her smell and encourage her to go. Get her to walk around. Basically, if you want, because she is such a tiny little dog, if you make the potty area small, you can get her to go quicker. And if you want, if you put a word to number 1 and a word to number 2, you eventually will be able to get her to go on command. After about 4 to 6 weeks of hearing, let's say, I personally use good potty for number 1 and good business for number 2. So if every time she went number 1, you said good potty and she got a treat for it, and every time she went number 2, you said good business and she got a treat for it, about 4 to 6 weeks of hearing those cue words after doing those actions, she will soon know that those cue words mean to do those actions. And eventually you'll be able to get her to go on command if the weather's not nice and you end up wanting to get her to get done so you can get back inside. So give her a tour of the home, show her where all of her stuff is, take her outside, and try to get her to go. If she doesn't come back in, play some more, show her around some more, take her back outside. Try to get her to go. You can either put little flags up to mark where she's got to go to the bathroom. You could sprinkle down some pine shavings, things of that nature. This will help her to know that this is the potty area, not the play area, and then you'll be able to have the play areas for the rest of the yard. Now, for about 3 to 5 days, we highly suggest that you have no extended family, friends, or neighbors over to meet her. She needs to know who to bond with so that when she gives the signal that she's got to go to the bathroom, the correct person sees this. If there's too many people in the house, somebody might miss it. She might signal the wrong person, inevitably setting her up to have an accident. And you really don't want to do that. You want to set her up to succeed, and ultimately that means that you need to get a good bond with her so that she knows who to signal and you can catch her signals when she's got to go. As far as taking her for a walk, she is a smaller dog, so walks may not be excessively needed, but you can by all means take her for a walk when you know you're going to be doing something and you want her to be calm and relaxed while she's in the kennel for an extended period of time. But taking her for a walk, I believe that you should start out in your backyard, walking her on leash. Take her to the front of your house and sit and wait. Just sit there. I'd say do that for about 2 weeks, where all you do is you take her out front, you sit outside, you just enjoy the outside and let her listen to the sounds, let her smell the smells and hear the sounds. The reason why is because it's going to be completely different than your backyard, and ultimately she's got to get used to it. You want her to be calm and relaxed. So if you try to go for a walk too soon, it can cause excitement or it can cause being scared. But if you sit and you just get her used to it, you won't be doing adverse things, and inevitably once you take her for her initial walk, everything will be good and everybody will have fun. As far as the walks go, please start in your backyard and then simply sit in your front yard for a little while, about 2 weeks, before you decide to take her for an actual walk. Now, as far as obedience, please understand that we had to bond with each and every one of our dogs before we ask or do any commands. The same applies to you guys. You need to bond with her before you ask for her to do any obedience. So don't say the words sit, stay, come, any of that sort of stuff on that first day. You can say her name and she should respond to that. You can say the cue word of off, but that's it. Her name and off are the two cue words that you can give her to respond. Otherwise, do not say any of the cue words. Her name should get her to come to you. She knows that sitting gets her what she wants, so you need to wait until she sits in order for you to give her what it is that she's wanting. Whether it be food, water, love, attention, to play, whatever, you want to try to get her to sit before you do any of those things with her, so that she learns that manners is what gets her what she wants, not demanding it. Now, the cue word off is simply for getting her off of something that she's on, whether it be furniture jumping on you, jumping on the door or the wall or whatever. You need to understand that off is for jumping, down is for lying down. So as far as the first 10 to 14 days, do not do any obedience. Don't say any obedience cues. Just wait for her to sit in order to give her what it is that she wants. But you can say the cue word is of off if she jumps up on you at all, you or the furniture or anything else. If she has her leash on her, you can always grab her and pull her down, give her leash pops to get her to get down. You can always walk into her space if she jumps at place. You can walk into her space if she jumps. This will tip her over. You can back up, causing her front paws to hit the ground. You can step to the sides, causing her paws to hit the ground. Ultimately, if she doesn't land, she's going to try it less. The less successful she is, the less she's going to want to do it. And in the end, if you always acknowledge when all four are on the ground or she's sitting, she's going to give you that behavior more often. So the first 14 days, no obedience, just bond with her. If you want to test her to see if she's ready, break. You can ask her to sit, offer her a treat. If she doesn't, you're going to push her rump down, pull her head up, say good, sit, give her praise, and say break. Place. That means you didn't do it. I'm going to make you do it. Now you say the word break, which is the release cue. Magically, she can't move until you give her her release cue, and then wait a few days and try again. That's the test that you will give to get her, for you to know whether she's ready to start obedience or not. Place. You know what, actually, I'm going to put you in kennel. Come here. Kennel. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and put her in kennel now and do that training right now, just so that you can see how they will calm down over time of being in the kennel, even if they get excited at first. So I simply said kennel. Once I put her in there, I gave her a couple treats and I closed the door. As long as she's calm, I will then give her treats. I will praise her, all that sort of stuff. But I just want you to see how over time being in the kennel will calm her down. That's not their favorite place to be, simply because they are dependent dogs and they'd rather be with you than away. So being in a kennel away from you is sometimes the most torturous thing on the planet. But the first thing I'm going to show you are, we use chicken or turkey hot dogs. They're cut up into bite size. You don't want them too big. You want them small, moist, meaty, and stinky. So if you decide that you want to go to your local pet store and get a healthier treat for her, that is absolutely fine. But ultimately, it has to be moist, meaty, and stinky and be cut up into the bite size. Now, you'll get this exact leash, well, not this exact one, but one similar to this, in your puppy packet. One side has the metal ring, the other side has a handle. You will take the handle and you will put it through the metal ring, and that will create the collar and the leash for you to put around Quinn. Now, the proper place for this is right here, right behind the ears, right underneath the chin. This is the proper place. If you end up having a buckle collar, a standard buckle collar, it will most likely sit down here. That will have her tags and whatnot on it. Good girl. Good girl. And that standard buckle collar is fine being on, and this being on at the same time. That's absolutely fine. The reason why you want to use this for the first few days that you have her, in addition all of your training sessions, and in addition those first walks that you take her, the reason why is because it gives the proper correction. They tighten down instead of a standard buckle collar and leash. All it does is pull back. It doesn't tighten. And that tightening is what gives the proper correction, so that she knows when she's doing something right and when she's doing something wrong. When she's doing something right, it's loose, it's just around her neck, but when she's doing something wrong, it tightens instead of just pulling her back. So ultimately, if you end up wanting, once you've done this training with her for a while and you want to switch to a standard buckle and collar, I suggest using a martingale collar. It creates the same tightening effect, but you can still keep it on her full time. It has the clip for a regular leash, and you'll be able to put her tags on that also. But for now, first few days, only use this leash. First, for your training sessions, only use this leash. And for the first few walks, only use this leash. If you decide to switch, that's okay. But we need to make sure that you're getting your point across, and we know that this particular leash does that. Now, she's been in there for a while. I'm not going to let her out. I'm just simply going to open the crate. I'm going to give her a treat. Good, Kennel. And then I'm going to close it back up, and I'm going to leave her eyesight. Now, as you can see, being in the room with her, she was quiet. She didn't get overly excited. She calmed down and relaxed in her kennel. At. So because I left her eyesight, I gave her a verbal correction. I'm going to leave her at. Left her eyesight again. Now, when she's quiet, good girl. I will come back. Good girl. And then I'll leave again. At. Good. 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 So I came back again. Like I left her eyesight. I came back again before she barked. She's still being calm. Now I'm going to go over. So this is how you teach her that being calm inside the kennel gets you what you want, as long as you give me what I want. Now, I also will bounce the kennel door open and closed. I want her to learn to respect this doorway. That doorway represents all the other doorways in her life. Your front door, your car door, things of that nature. And ultimately, she needs to stay where she is until she's given a release cue. Whether she's put her collar, her leash has been put on or not, she cannot move until she's given her release cue. Break. Good girl. Good girl. So there are 3 communication tools, 3 transfer tools that we use to communicate with them. Obviously, verbal, hand signal, and the third is through the leash. And those are the leash pops. When they don't do the things that we ask, we will give them a leash pop to correct them. Ultimately, I will go through all of those to show you what it is. Let's go. So right now, good. We're just going to do let's go, which is loose leash walking on my left-hand side. And as long as she doesn't pull, she will get rewarded. She'll get praised. Good girl. Good girl. When I stop, she sits. Good girl. Let's go. If she were to start pulling, I could spin around and go in the other direction. I can do the auto sit where I stop frequently and have her sit. And also, I could walk very, very fast, or I could walk very, very slow, causing her to have to pay attention to exactly what I'm doing. Otherwise, she might get left behind. Good. So when we're very consistent, dogs know what to expect. They can start pulling. When we're very inconsistent in the way that we walk, they don't know what to expect, and ultimately, they stay with us a little bit better. Because all they know is that if I don't stay with her, I might miss out on something. Huh, good girl, good girl. Good girl. Good. So that was the hand signal for sit. Ah, good. The hand signal for stay. Good. Hand signal for down. Good. So sit was simply to bring my hand up. Down was simply pointing to the ground. And stay is a stop sign. Quinn! So Quinn is one of her release cues. She's got to sit. Good. Break is one of her release cues, and come is one of her release cues. Sit. Good. Stay. At. Stay. Good. Good. Stay. Good. Stay. Good. Down. Good girl. Good girl. Stay. Good. Come. Good girl, Queenie. Good. Let's go. Good girl. Good girl. So those leash pops up and over her head signal to her to sit down. Good. And down and to the side, would signal for her to lie down. Good. 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 Let's go. Place. So those leash pops are the third way you communicate with her. If you want her to sit, it's up over her head. If you want her, whoop, whoop, back up, Pumpkin. And if you want her to lie down, it's down and to the side. What are you doing? Good. Good. And as far as place goes, she will stay up there as long as you're not too far away or you give her something to do. As you saw during the beginning of the video, she stayed up there quite nicely as long as I wasn't too far away and I was acknowledging that she was being a good girl. Your fur is looking so funny, it makes you can't see your one eye. Where's that one eye? Huh? Where's that one eye? There it is. There it is. There you are. But as you can see, she's more of the type of dog that would rather be with you than away. So sometimes being on place is too much, too torturous for her. Or being in kennel is just too torturous for her. You have to stay consistent. She will be fine. She will learn that everything is all right. And as long as you give her something to do, a Kong filled with peanut butter, a Nylabone chew bone, a deer antler chew bone, anything like that. As long as you give her something to do, she should be all right. Do not ever give her a plush stuffed animal toy in the kennel while she's unsupervised. You can give that to her as long as she's supervised. You don't want the destructive nature of puppies to end up causing any medical problems. But as you can see, even at a distance, she's waiting ever so patiently for her release cue. Break. Good girl. Good girl. And my corrective noise that I use is ep, or eh. The reason why I use those words is because the word no is used far too much in regular conversation, and so it has to mean something more to her. Do not use the word no or the word stop when it comes to a corrective noise. Use something that you would do in case a child was about to touch something hot. It's typically a noise that just comes out. You need it to be firm and assertive. That will be your correction noise. She will adapt to whatever it is that you use. But as I said, I typically do an or type of noise. I know. I love you too, Quinny. I'll miss you. I will miss you. But I hope that you enjoy Quinn as much as I have. If you have any questions, please send us an email. Give us about 24 to 48 hours, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.